Hey everybody, welcome to a new video. Took about a month off for the holidays, some well-needed rest from the game, and spent the last week or so crafting a couple different builds, trying to find one that I liked, that I wanted to keep playing. I've been playing in Standard, but I tried some Toxic Rain, tried Poisonous Concoction, Seismic Trap, some of the bigger usual builds, and ended up doing Explosive Arrow Ballista Totems, because it's super fun. I followed a little bit along with what Zizaran did with his build, and then just kind of made it my own with some of the higher end gear that I have on my standard character. It still works just fine if you don't have super high end gear. You can use the, Diadem Dawn instead of the Mage Blood if you can't afford a Mage Blood, because it's, astronomically expensive. But I have it, so it's one of those things. Once you get a Mage Blood, it's real hard not to use it on your build because it just makes everything so much easier. So we'll go over here, the bow. Basically the same concept as the one that I had before, but you just spam the essences, Shrieking Essence of Dread, where it guarantees you the +2 socketed bow gems. I spent about 150 on it. I was just going until I got quadruple T1 lightning damage, and then the fire damage over time multiplier. When I got all tier 1, actually I had an extra suffix. So I got lucky, hit the yellow null, and nulled it off. And then crafted on minions, have increased attack speed, cast speed. Not the best helmet, just armor evasion based. Bought it off trade, like 50C. Just get the explosive arrow damage enchant on it. And then I rolled it with just chaos orbs until I got cold res and spell suppression. Got, decent increased armor evasion on there. That's really all I was going for, was just trying to get spell suppression capped and help with the res a little bit. And hit it with the Exarch and Eater to get increased flammability curse effect, and then some more mana reservation efficiency. Nothing special on that one. As far as the quiver goes, just had a Warlord quiver with the increased attack speed, because attack speed's what you want to get. So I hit it with the Essence of Zeal to get additional attack speed until I was happy. I got T2 damage over time multiplier. Could keep going and go T1, but I also got T1 lightning res and T4 increased damage with bow skills and just lightning, because elemental equilibrium. I find it easier just to pick one element that's not fire to proc that. Gloves, nothing special really. Dragon scale gauntlets, just high life, some life res or life regen, life on kill, and then damage during any flash effect. And then do the Exarch Eater to get fire exposure on hit. And then the ignites you inflicts spread to other enemies within a radius of 13. Stops you from having to use ignite proliferation, which is super nice. Ring, just an amethyst ring to get chaos res, some life per enemy killed, and craft on some more attack speed. I do have an onslaught on hit ring, which helps a lot with attack speed, obviously. Spanned it with deafening essence of delirium to get that damage over time multiplier on there. And then just did it until I got some strength and intelligence, craft on elemental damage with attack skills, and pretty much done with that one. That one's still pretty expensive, just the onslaught on hit, at about 50 to 100 divines. You don't need it, I have it, so why not? Belt, it's Mage Blood. I ran a couple labs to get the enchant on there, because I did have the withered one, which I don't need. So makes ignite last a little bit longer. Same body armor that I've been using for a while since I first crafted it. Just increased armor evasion, a little bit of energy shield, like 236. Some more res, and then I don't have a lot of physical damage mitigation. So Fizz's fire and Fizz's lightning is pretty nice. And then the Malevolence, Aura effect, and increased effect of non-curse auras. As far as the flasks go, since I am using a Mage Blood, do the Amethyst flask, and I did increased effect and then immunity to shock, so you can get ailment immune. A regular life flask with immunity to bleed and corrupted blood. Quicksilver flask with additional res and increased effect. Quartz flask, which is nice for the phasing, and then additional spell suppression. And then also ignite immune. And then just an old legacy granite flask that I've had for a while. You'd use the newer one that doesn't have the higher percentage, so you get like 60% increased armor with increased effect. So you can't actually get the 89% anymore. but it'll still work. Go to the tree here. That's pretty standard. The only thing that I really swapped out were the gems. So I'm using Rain of Splinters, but I have Watcher's Eye with the life per enemy hit while affected by Vitality, and increased dot multi while affected by Malevolence. Just more damage. Other than that, the tree, it'll be in the path of building. So you want to take Unstoppable Hero and then Fortitude. You really probably can just wait to do the first lab until you can do the second lab. That way the first one will be super easy, because Unstoppable Hero, it's while fortified, so it doesn't do any good until you get Fortitude. Take Conqueror, so 100% chance to taunt on hit. And the reason why you don't have to worry about hit chance or accuracy is because once you get Worthy Foe, taunted enemies can't evade attacks. And since every time you hit something it's taunted, you will always hit. As far as the gems go, so I've got Life Tap, Awaken LA damage with attacks. So level 2120 Explosive Arrow, level 4 Empower, Ballista Totem, and Combustion. I still haven't maxed out the levels of all these gems. I did the old school way instead of doing the gem cutters. Just put them in there, level them up, and with the gem cutter, or sell them with the gem cutter once they get to level 20, so you get 20% quality, and then level them up again. As far as auras go, run a Malevolence with an Enlighten, Divergent Vitality, which gives you 9% increased damage while on full life. That's actually 4, but I have Ashes of the Stars, so it gives you that extra percent. And then just a level 20 Determination. This one, I've been playing around with this a little bit because self-casting Flammability is technically better, but I'm kind of lazy, so just throwing an Arcanist Brand makes it a little better. So I have Arcanist Brand, which will get proc Flame Surge with Combustion, and then Flammability with increased duration. And then I do have Ignite Proliferation on here for Flame Surge as well. Gloves, just cast some damage taken, Val Molten Shell, and then Life Tap with Flame Dash, because I'm getting a little bit more mana back now that I got that implicit for the increased mana reservation, but it's nice to just not use mana, because the Val Molten Shell will use mana. And then we'll do Life Tap with Frenzy and Culling Strike, and then summon Skitterbots for our last aura. What Frenzy does is it'll give you Frenzy charges once you hit an enemy with it. So you also get Life Tap, you get more attack speed per Frenzy charge, and then increased attack speed with Frenzy, and you get extra Life Tap too, and it's Culling Strike too. So works great for bosses. I don't really use it for mapping, but I'll go over kind of quickly how I play the build. So I just have regular move on the left click, and then the totems on the right click. And then I prefer to have Frenzy on A or E, just depends on how I feel like pressing it. And then Arcanist Brand. That's it. So you just run through. If you do like an Essence or something big, like a Strongbox, you just throw down the Arcanist Brand, throw a bunch of totems down, and then just wait. For bosses or any kind of, arch nemesis monster, just hit them with Frenzy a couple times. It'll give you 3 Frenzy charges, and then everything attacks faster. Super nice. So it's about a 3-button build. You can technically just get away when you're mapping with literally just running through stuff if you have this Quartz Flask with phasing, and then just throwing totems down. So we're on a map real quick, just can kind of see what it looks like. We'll do... We have a strand map in here. Yep, okay, cool. Let's see. Nothing too crazy. 91%. Sure. Oh, Omni Chaos. Alright. Like I said, the Quartz Flask helps a lot because you always have phasing when you have the Mage Blood. And pretty much one totem kills everything. So no matter how big the pack is, it'll, one shot from them once it explodes will pretty much kill everything. And when it spreads to other enemies, I mean, if you get a real big pack of monsters, like I'll do the strongbox here. Throw those down once. Fire a couple times, pick them off, and then strongbox is done. Don't even use Arcanist Brand or anything crazy, just run through and throw your totems down. Single target damage is really good, especially because you're pretty tanky. So, the one thing that some people don't like, and I didn't really like when I started using it, was that you have to kind of wait. Because you have to throw the totems down. Oh. Alright. You have to throw the totems down, and then you have to wait for them to fire, and then you have to wait for the explosions. So it's a delay, so you can't really kind of run and gun, which is why having phasing is nice, because then you just run through stuff, and then it kills stuff behind you. If you're one of those people that like melee builds, and you like to be, right up in stuff's face, might not be the build for you, because there is that delay. Get to the boss here and show you what the single target damage looks like. It is really good for Harbinger too, because you can run through all of them and just, keep throwing down your totems. It lasts about, 14 seconds or so, something like that. 8 seconds. You can see, you don't really take a lot of damage, and especially if you just keep kind of putting them down, then the delay, it mitigates the delay a little bit, because there's always going to be one or two firing, as long as you're throwing them down. Okay. Might be a Harbinger in here, there usually is. Nope, okay. Hit him with Arcanist Brand. And pretty much just wait. It'll pretty much kill any map boss. You don't really have to do much. Throw 6 of them down, hit them with Arcanist Brand, and wait. Survive. You generally don't ever have to throw down any more than 6. And we'll go over to Path of Building. Alright, so right now, combined total damage, we're doing 19 million. 4 million per ignite, or 18 million per ignite. A little bit of Burning Ground, 1 million. So, it's pretty sweet. As far as tankiness goes, the Fizzmax hits kind of low. LE and Chaos is real nice. Almost Chaos Res capped, but LE capped. Spell suppression, I got 47% evasion and 85% Fizz damage reduction. So the tankiness is there. You do got to use that life flask though. Even with the life gain on hit, it's, as you saw in the map I died, just to an essence mob, so I also wasn't super paying attention. But if you do import this into your Path of Building, you will have to go here and make sure that your configurations are set. So you will be using Frenzy charges, because based on a boss, so when you're fighting a boss, you will use Frenzy. That'll give you Frenzy charges because you lose about 2 million damage. You have Life Tap. I have Onslaught. If you don't, you can take that off. It doesn't make too much of a difference. You are taunting an enemy. So that helps a lot with showing how much you're actually able to take. You have 1 brand, Arcanist Brand. Nothing here. Enemy is taunted. If they're not, then you can kind of see damage goes down a lot. They're exposed to fire, and they were hit recently by lightning damage, which is what helps Elemental Equilibrium. You can see there it's 2 million damage. And nothing over here. Alright, so for those of you that can't afford a Mage Blood, it's really expensive. We'll do an 8 mod Corrupted Toxic Sewer T16 here, and we'll put in the Diet in Dawn. So our res is probably going to tank. Yep. So what we'll do here, go and put this ring in instead, and it's good enough. Gonna move real slow. But you can see defense wise, if you take it out, I'm at 20,000 armor versus 50,000. So it's a pretty significant difference. So I'm not going to have Onslaught, but just so you can see, everything is pretty obtainable. The armor is kind of expensive. You don't need the fractured global defenses. The bow's pretty cheap to craft, honestly. So we'll run this and see how it goes. Probably going to forget to hit my flasks. I play with Mage Blood all the time, so... Oh yeah, see? So slow. I'm moving so slow, it feels like my frames per second are low, but it's not. I just don't have any move speed on my boots because I use Mage Blood. As you can see, I mean, as long as you have the phasing up, you, you pretty much just walk through stuff, and it dies. The 8 mod corrupted map, no Mage Blood. The Harbinger in there. Died once, that happens. That's why you have portals. I could go back and do the rituals if I want, but not a big fan of ritual. But yeah, that's the build. Let me know if you have any questions in the comments. Make sure to like the video and smash that subscribe button because it really helps me out.